In Central Asia, we see more and more shifts going outside of Central Asia and outside of the Russian Federation. So we see more and more that Central Asian nations and the migration moves towards Eastern Europe, the United States, Canada, Western Europe. So we see a diversification, and that's a very positive thing. A second thing we see more and more, and that's important also to highlight, so recently we completed a study in Tajikistan and in Kyrgyzstan, we see more and more feminization of migration. So we also see more and more women migrating for economic reasons. It's super important, it's at the center. So first and foremost, my specialization is in data. So I believe that when you have the right information, you can build the right policies. And one crucial aspect of that is that if nations share information, who goes where and what are their needs, we can really better tailor how to serve and protect the migrants. So working together to share what we know and to share findings will improve the protection of migrants. We are prioritizing not necessarily a project, but I think what we are very passionate about and what we find very important is labor migration. But in order to facilitate labor migration from protection to legal pathways, it is also very important to understand data. So that's another very important pillar to IOM, to work on data. And we do that through something called mobility tracking matrix. So in Tajikistan, in Kyrgyzstan, in Kazakhstan, you see these beautiful interactive dashboards that tell you at all times where people go, where did they come from, what are their needs, and what are their future aspirations. From this forum, I had many high expectations, and I think all the high expectations have been met. First and foremost, a platform to discuss and to bring everybody together, not just the UN and the government, but to bring recruiters, private agencies, civil society, youth, women all together to discuss. And what I'm already seeing is that the dialogue is really shaping up very concrete steps that we can take forward. What I see is huge potential for better use of the data. So to really bring that into practice, to inform not only those that work in policy, but also the recruitment agencies, the employers abroad. That's one. I also see a lot of beautiful partnerships being made behind me between different entities. And what I also think is that going forward we have a much more concrete action plan, and everybody was able to really contribute to that. First and foremost, what I really appreciate is that we are realizing that Uzbekistan is at a peak, at the peak of its wave in demography shifts. And putting youth especially at the center to definitely better the youth is fantastic. And also taking migration so serious, but not only looking at migration as, okay, this is something to equip the economy. No, everything from A to Z, every detail gets attention, and that is how migration works.